All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Parsha and Wine Pairing here at Kosherwine.com. It's David and Isaac.
Welcome back from Pesach.
Welcome back from Pesach. You had a good Pesach?
I did. It was 8 days of fun, and now it's over.
It feels like so long ago.
It does. It feels like a lifetime ago, even though it was only 3 days ago.
All right, but we're here, and we're back. And this week's Parsha, Isaac, is Parsha's...
Acharei Mot.
Acharei Mot is this week's Parsha. That's what we'll be reading in Shul.
Not in Israel, though.
In Israel, we will be reading Kosher.
That's right.
So
we're off track here.
Well, we'll catch up at some point. I do want to mention before we get into the nitty-gritty that, with the events that happened last week in Chabad Poway, this is actually a very big week for everybody to show up in Shul, show your support, solidarity. Whichever shul you attend, make sure that you go this week. Isaac, please hold my seat.
I will hold.
Isaac always shows up to shul before me. We sit beside each other, so
it's not just in Parsha and Wine.
Not just in Parsha and Wine.
Yeah.
He holds my seat for me, so I have the luxury of showing up late and still having my my preferred seat.
That's right.
So,
I try to take care of my peeps here.
This week I'll try to show up on time, but if I don't, I know all those people showing up in solidarity this week will gun for my seat. So, bad use of term. We'll try to get my seat. So
I'll hold it.
You'll hold it for me. All right. So Acharei Mot. This week's Parsha starts off with the warning of not to enter the Holy and Holies. Basically, previous Parsha, Nadav and Abihu go in there, the sons of Aaron, and
exactly.
They don't make it out alive.
Yeah, it doesn't end well.
And God's basically like, don't do that.
Yeah.
So Aaron's instructed not to do that. However, on Yom Kippur, he can go in.
Yeah.
We also talk about the goats that were selected, and
for either way,
one for the sins and one for for that.
That's right. We have
and then the Torah goes on and talks about a few other things, some sacrifices. One of the things it talks about is the prohibition against eating blood.
We don't like to do that.
We're not allowed to do that.
That's correct.
And for all those who weren't familiar with that rule, that's a fact.
Yeah, don't eat the
Eat blood.
In fact, we take a large steps to remove it.
Check our eggs.
We check our eggs. We salt our meat.
We salt our meat.
We drain it.
Yeah, you soak and salt it.
Exactly.
To remove the blood. So basically a huge prohibition against eating blood. Now, the connection with this week's Parsha, this is a very hard Parsha to kind of find something to do. But we have the Jezreel Adumim, and Dam is blood, Adumim,
red.
It's really red. That also sounds, it's a bit of play on words. We've had a lot of those recently because it's been, difficult for some of these Parshas in Vayikra to really come up with a pairing.
Exactly.
And that's basically the connection. So we're going to go ahead and give it a try. The Jezreel winery, which is located in Jezreel Valley, it's a bit up to the northwest of Israel. They have a series of wines that are from their single vineyards. So they plant different grapes in different vineyards or different plots in the vineyard, and they release wines like the Syrah, which is 100% Syrah from the Syrah vineyard, and Argaman and Carignan, all varietals that are very indigenous or very appropriate to grow in Israel. They do very well in hot climates. And what they do with the Adumim is they take those grapes from those different vineyards, the Syrah, Carignan, and Argaman, and they blend it together. So this is 60% Syrah, 25% Carignan, 15% Argaman. And it's blended. It's their blend. Aside from maybe their rosé, which could also be a single varietal. I haven't seen it this year yet. It's available. I haven't tried it. I haven't seen the label yet.
They blend some whites together also, right?
They have a Levanim, which is a blend, and they have the Chardonnay, which is a straight up white. The Alpha is also an entry level. One of their wines, I believe, it's also a blend. So there's a couple of blends, but this wine, when it first came to the U.S., who brought it to the U.S.?
We did.
Kosherwine.com brought this wine to the U.S., and we had the Argaman, Carignan, and Syrah, and we had the Adumim, and did really well. But they produce a lot of wine, and now it's available across the U.S. through Royal and their distributors and their retail shops.
Don't forget Kosherwine.com.
And primarily on Kosherwine.com. All right, so
what are we looking for here?
What we're looking for here is going to be a lot of fruit. lot of red fruit, some sweet red fruit, and the wines were the way they come up with this, the way they work this blend is that they mature the wines the varietals, the grapes individually,
and then they blend it
together, and they're all matured for 20 months in oak. So you should probably also expect some of that, the oak and the vanilla and those kinds of flavors from the aging. Okay.
I definitely taste that sweet fruit. I don't go at it as much as you do over there. I like to go in for a second sip.
It takes me longer to realize what's in there. Yeah, so you're getting the oak, you're getting the red fruit, cherries, a lot of that from the Syrah. I'm trying to detect some spice in here, maybe from the Syrah, or some of the other. The Carignan it offers a bit of a lighter.
I actually like the Carignan a lot.
Yeah, Carignan's nice. I love their Argamon. It's harder to find. It's more limited. Another varietal that's not very popular. Carignan grows a lot in Spain, but the Argamon, it's harder to find in other, at least kosher. It's hard to find in other places. Overall, very nice wine. It's got good acid. The tannins are medium. Very nice body, luscious, smooth. It's got
drinkable.
It's got very good fruit profile.
It doesn't overpower you.
No, and surprisingly, for 20 months in oak, the oak is present, but it's not overbearing.
Works well. What would you drink this with?
Me personally, I would want to try this with a nice herb-crusted lamb.
Herb-crusted lamb. Wow, that's not too out of left field.
No, because it's like, I feel like I would want something a little more, like, beef obviously, like a good steak goes with a lot of things, but I think I would want something with like a little more of like Mediterranean, something that would be more reminiscent of Mediterranean style dish. And I would still want to go with meat. So for me, the obvious is like lamb, even shawarma, but like, sitting down to really enjoy it, something lamb. This could go with cheese. It can go with a bunch of different things, or you can go with your steak. I don't find it to be too big on the grip with the tannin, so you don't need something. No. And although lamb could be quite fatty, you don't need something with that much fat.
Right. It doesn't need to be too rich either because the wine is not.
Right. So that's why I like the lamb pairing with that, because it has a lot of those other flavors that like this will bring a bit more of that sweet red fruit, and that will kind of give you more of that savory. I don't know. For me, that's when I think of it as
herb crusted lamb.
Crusted lamb. I've only had it like.
We'll have to get David's recipe and then put it. I've
only made it once in my life. It came out well. I'm not going to make it again because it will never be better than that time. So I want to disappoint myself. I will remember that one with a fond memory. Aside from that, check out the website. We got our rosés in. Summer, the heat is coming, so you'll want that.
It's like 85 degrees outside right now.
And we got Yom Ha'atzmaut coming up next week.
So Yom HaShoah today.
Yom HaShoah today. Remembrance Day. So, l'chaim for that as well. A lot going on in Jewish history. A lot to contemplate, celebrate.
While doing it in shul this week.
And so take that time to reflect. Enjoy a good bottle while you do it. It always helps.
Bottle always helps.
L'chaim. Thank you for joining and watching. See you next week. Oh, I should mention next week's Parsha wine that we will pair with next week. Here it is. Sorry.
Parsha's Kedoshim.
Yeah, and for that, or for all of you in Israel who are doing Kedoshim this week.
Israel today. This is your wine today.
We will be drinking the Novel Equilibrium next week, so tune in next week to see what the connection is with the Novel Equilibrium and next week's Parsha. But for now, enjoy your Jezreel Adumim. Live from Kosherwine.com. This is Evan Nazik wishing you a good Shabbos, and see you next week.